It is important for you to recognize what are you listening to. Incoherent speech, as Eva said, like the interruption that might happen during the interpretation, that could be incoherence for you, like jumping from one topic to another or jumping from one point of view to another. And also poor audio quality. Your mic need to be clear because you're hearing, and also so many other factors. Yeah. So Jen classifies potential translation problems in simultaneous interpreting into several categories. So here we can see that Daniel Joe classified the problems that he said about interpreting into several categories. First of all, problems arising from increased processing capacity requirements. So the problems that happens because you are like under a severe pressure. Like you need to listen, you need to understand, you need to analyze, you need to give an appropriate structure, you need to give the same meaning. So all of these factors are all of these happens in your mind. So basically, or of course, you're gonna have a problem. And also problems.
So just I want to add something. Remember when I said that when Daniel Jill mentioned about the processing capacity requirement, he mentioned that every interpreter has a particular amount of processing capacity requirement. And sometimes the process of interpreting requires more than available. At this point, we expect errors and mistakes, and now he mentions that the problems arising from increased processing capacity requirements. What exactly happens? So, this is actually the first bunch or list of problems that are stated under this, So, not related to the linguistic and extra-linguistic factors, but it's related to the process itself, So this is why we normally say that interpreters should cope with the difficulties of interpreting in terms of cognition. I have to distribute or balance between comprehension, processing, and delivery, not to focus on one mental operation particularly, but to be a kind of coordination, as Daniel Jill said. Yes.
And problems associated with signal vulnerability and language specificity related problems, and the speaker factor. I don't want to go into details for these because we will explain them now in details in the upcoming slides. Yes.
So problems arising from increased processing were also subcategorized into other four subcategories, starting with high density source text. When you have a speech that's full with information and all these information are actually necessary, you cannot just leave anything, you have to mention them all, which is going to be really problematic for your cognition to comprehend this much amount of information. We talked about external factors such as poor audio quality, background noise, etc., unknown or complex names. Imagine an English interpreter minding his own business, trying to interpret in peace, and he hears the name معصومة ذو الفقار عبد الجبار البرزنجي. He's going to pose really in his mind. So for Arabic speakers also, how are you going to deal with that? It's really problematic. Saturation in short-term memory. This is very important, as Professor Muhammad just told us about. It's the point when your brain is done. It's had all that it can do. It's saturated. It cannot accept anything more, and it happens especially in short-term memory because things do not stay in your short-term memory for a long time. It's maximum 5 to 6 minutes. Seconds. So it's saturated. It's filled with information, and it cannot digest anything more. If there was a nickname, of course you can mention it. But in case there isn't, or a name is a name that you're really not familiar with, you can't.
The first time
you should try though. It's a good.
Actually, part of my PhD was on how to interpret names. So I asked the professional interpreters who work at UN division in New York. We asked them, what do you do when you encounter problems with names? And especially once you just encounter a name, what do you do? Okay, they said, okay, once we listen or hear the name, we just start our interpretation with the name. You got it? And they say if we can take notes, we will put down the names. Two strategies that are applied. Okay? So, you know, sometimes you listen to a speech and, I mean, during the speech he said, Muhammad, ذكر. So the interpreter starts with the Muhammad. So this is a kind of, you know, strategy, a tactic, you can say. Okay? Others, they said, no, we can just put down the name and number as well.